I'm ready.
Hello, Shawn.
Hello, Brittany.
So, a little bit about Shawn Anderson. He's 10 years in the business, but the greatest part about him is that he has 25 years of construction knowledge behind him. He's one of my favorite inspectors. He's the only one that I use. And thanks, Shawn. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
Yeah, he just rushed here from another inspection, so I guess that will take us into our questions because we do have a few of them for you. We'll put you in the hot seat. So why don't you
Perfect.
tell us about you and your business?
We are a full service home inspection business. We do home inspections and we do commercial inspections. We also do consultations for buyers and sellers, preparing sellers to sell and preparing buyers to buy. We also do consulting with contractors. It's kind of a newer thing. Contractors will bring me in to basically go over the house and show them deficiencies prior to them actually having the house put on the market that they've just built, which I think is a great idea because that way
Yeah.
when you agents are doing deficiency walkthroughs, I've already identified these items and they fix them when you get there already before you get there. And it looks like there's no deficiencies when you're actually doing the walkthrough. So it
Yeah,
actually
that's a great
works
thing to
pretty
have
well. Yeah. So that's us in a nutshell.
in a nutshell.
In a
Awesome.
nutshell.
With what's happened in the past, 8 weeks, how have you been impacted?
Well, business definitely dropped, especially after probably about the first week in April, we saw probably 80% of the business drop.
Yeah.
I think people were still in a what is happening mode because the last week, especially, the phone has been ringing like crazy again. So
We're definitely seeing that in our business as well too.
yeah, that's good. We're all synced.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Like,
it did drop. It dropped significantly, but I'm a optimist. It's gonna recover, and it's gonna recover probably very quickly.
has there been any positive outcomes out of the adjustments that you've made in your
I,
business practice during this time?
actually, I really love this question because it has most of the inspections I'm doing currently. I'm alone. The buyer's not
Yeah.
there, seller's not there, no agents are there, and Brittany, you know how chatty I am. I have no
You
one.
probably finish it in half the time.
I have no one to talk to. So things are going, things go quite much faster. It's just really interesting because you're wearing gloves, you're wearing masks. I'm wiping down every single surface. My iPad looks worse than my wrinkled old face. It's just the Lysol wipes are destroying it. So, but you know what? You got to take precautions to make the buyer feel happy, the seller feel happy, and everyone that's around you feel safe. So
Yeah, no,
it's
I completely agree.
So are you then just obviously you send a report to the buyer after we know that, and then is it a phone call or do you get on a video chat as well? I mean, I know in the past you've probably just got on the phone if the buyer can't attend anyways, but
yeah, usually, I mean, in the past, it was the buyers would come with me and I'd talk to them. And now I'm doing Zoom, baby. It's
yeah,
all about the Zoom.
yeah,
So we're doing
Oh, we
Zoom, we're
know.
doing
Yeah.
calls. It is interesting because, as you guys know, my delivery, it's really about people reading my facial expressions to see how I feel about a property.
right,
And I feel bad when they can't really get what I'm saying. So
yeah,
I
hmm
always encourage a video call so that at least they can actually read me. If it's on a call and I say, you're something about the house, then they go, oh my God, I don't want them to
Yeah.
do that unless it's
yeah,
something really something necessary that they should be concerned about. But
yeah,
um, most things are fixable. So
Well, that's why I was drawn to you at the beginning was because you know how to explain things to people with, starting at, this is bad, but, it can be fixed with
Yeah.
X amount of dollars, or, this is okay. This is normal. So when people can't read your face expressions, they probably go to, they start at the worst.
Yeah, they do. They for sure do. And buyers are, buyers and sellers, they're all nervous. You guys know, as professionals, they've got so much stress in their life dealing with this purchase or with this sale. The last thing you need is a home inspector to say, hey, guess what? The baseboards are coming off the wall. It must be a catastrophic nightmare. And they run away from this. You
Yeah.
need to be able to deliver news properly.
Yeah. That's the whole, I think that's one of the biggest part of the job, in my opinion.
It is.
So do you have any recommendations for people setting up an inspection, or certain tips that they should follow?
I do actually. I actually really like talking to sellers and telling them how to prepare their homes, especially. Um, Believe it or not, when I walk into a really dirty home, it's giving me an impression
Hmm.
that I'm going to find something. And I might not, but it's not a good impression. So getting your house spick and span clean, right? I'm already off to a good start. Preparing places like having the electrical panel accessible, the attic hatch accessible, crawl spaces accessible. It makes the inspector's job a little easier rather than trying to hunt things down and moving things, because technically we're not supposed to move things if we cause damage. So making it simple for people. It also looks like I'm not hiding anything here. Everything's here in the open. It's just about impressions. It's really simple. And buyers, just most of the time, I'm dealing with agents that have prepared their buyers really well, and they're already stoked. They've already moved in half the time.
Hmm.
I mean, even though you don't want that sometimes, but they're moved in. The kids have picked their rooms, right? So, um, preparing buyers, it's sometimes I make a call and that's another thing with COVID. I've actually had to talk to a lot of tenants, explaining exactly what I'm going to be doing in their suite,
Hmm.
because tenants are nervous right now, like all of us. This is an unknown chartered world we're living in. So I don't know how many calls I've had talking tenants into allowing us to go in.
Allowing you to be in there because they're nervous about, bringing unknown people in, and the practices that you have to do now.
Yeah. So
But I guess that's good with having less people in the suite and not seeing as many people, and you just doing your job and then giving the report like they were like we do for out of town buyers.
exactly, for sure. I mean, the one piece of advice I always give sellers is don't be there. Do
Yeah.
not be home. It's never a good idea. You just don't want, especially you don't want a buyer having the ability. They ask the question to the seller, and the seller's all of a sudden like a deer in headlights. That's
Hmm.
not good. Just keep them apart. Let the agents do their job, and the inspector will do their job, and everything's good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Very much agreed.